When I see a child's face brighten up, to me this is the biggest self-satisfaction I can get.
So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity as a young person for me to do something as well as learn about the people around me.
Voices of Vista.
Someone who's willing, someone to care, someone who's needed and glad to be there, someone to give of himself for a year, a Vista volunteer.
With Duke Ellington and the John Kakavas Orchestra and Chorus. These are the voices of Vista, volunteers in service to America. All over America, in slums, migrant worker camps, Indian reservations, wherever poverty is. That's where Vista volunteers go.
Someone who's young and someone who's old, hands that are willing and hearts that are bold. Someone to give what is priceless and dear, a Vista volunteer. Vista volunteer. Vista volunteer.
I'm Willis Conover. Now, meet our guest. Duke Ellington.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Willis Conover has just introduced Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington, of course, is me, and I've made a career of sitting at the piano while the band, which is known as Duke Ellington and his orchestra, play, and they blow like crazy, and when they get through blowing like crazy, I get up and bow like mad. But now I find myself here at the piano making the opening piano statement.
Duke Ellington at the piano with his orchestra. That was called Ellington 66. As always, Duke is at least 1 year ahead of his time. What would you tell a troubled teenager who was about to drop out of school? Maybe if you found the right words, you could change his whole life. What would you say to a poor Indian to explain why he shouldn't use the water in a polluted stream? Maybe if you found the right words, his village might enjoy better health. Finding the right words and using them is part of the job you might be doing for Vista. Vista, the strong right arm of our country's war against poverty. Vista is made up of people like you. For 1 year, Vista volunteers live and work among the poor. They carry the war against poverty into the front lines. Vista is hard tasks, small miracles, special people. The pay isn't much, but you can change the future for someone who never had a chance before. Are you that special kind of person? Write Vista, Washington, D.C. VISTA, Washington, D.C. Now, a voice for Vista, Duke Ellington.
Thank you. Our next selection is our tone parallel to the great Ray Charles performance of Can't Stop Loving You.
I Can't Stop Loving You, Duke Ellington and his orchestra, with Lawrence Brown and Buster Cooper exchanging trombone solos, Cody Williams on trumpet, and Johnny Hodges, alto saxophone. Vista is one human being helping another, not by the numbers, not by the book, but in whatever way he can help just by being there. Dee Walsh is a Vista volunteer who spends part of her time with little children, for whom play is something strange and new, and for whom a playground swing is a thing of mystery.
They'll look at it for a long time to see me, then they'll try to venture up, and then they'll fumble around for a while, and then they'll get on it, and then they get on it and it doesn't go. They can't understand why it doesn't go, and they'll cry, and so forth, and then you say, well, you have to push it, and then they watch the other children, and they get to it. But that's very surprising, because things we take for granted, like a swing, it's very big and new to them.
Getting over fear, getting out of themselves, learning to get along with each other. It's all part of growing up. When children play, they learn. But only a little while ago, these children didn't know how to play.
You can see now the progress they're making in playing with each other. They actually share a little bit now, which is really surprising to share. Being able to play together is one thing, but when they start to share, it's a big step.
For some of these young Americans, even the simplest joys, the most ordinary events have been missed. A family meal with everyone sitting at a table, for one reason or another, is something they don't know about. So, at Children's House, Dee Walsh, in a small way, helps make up for that.
There's a napkin placed down, and then the cookies are on that, and then the milk goes in the cup, and you pick up the cup with your hand, and you put it down, then you eat the crackers. And now they can do it very well, and they enjoy it, and they share, and they're very organized about eating. And they have a little cleanup committee afterwards. Someone who's always wanting to be garbage man and carry around and clean up afterwards. And this is a big thing for them, They look forward, I think, to lunch period maybe more than anything else in the day.
Little things. Vista is small miracles. People helping people.
I feel with this contact, perhaps me being there, just being there, and being able to show them that there are more things to be seen than just on the block that they live on, that perhaps this could have a great impact later in their lives.
Dee Walsh, a Vista volunteer. There are very few orchestras who could program an entire evening without playing anything but the orchestra leader's compositions. As a matter of fact, the Duke Ellington Orchestra is the only orchestra I can think of. And you can take that several ways. But Duke, I noticed that on today's program, you are playing songs, largely, that were written by other people.
Oh yes, we have a very profound appreciation of many other writers and arrangers and also performers. Sometimes we're impressed by the lyrics, sometimes by the melody, and then of course the big payoff is the performance of the performer. And I think this is probably a very good representative performance of that.
In other words, Duke?
We allow ourselves to sort of float out on the pastel mist, tonal pastel mist created by Johnny Mercer and Mancini, and enjoy the lift that comes with Wine and Roses.
The Henry Mancini, Johnny Mercer, Academy Award-winning song, Days of Wine and Roses. Paul Gonsalves, tenor saxophone soloist, with Duke Ellington and his orchestra. Someone in Arkansas is teaching a mother whose children are in rags how to sew. Someone in Kentucky is helping a hard-pressed farmer to get a loan so he can windproof his house. Someone in New York City is teaching arithmetic to children from the slums to help them catch up in school. Hard tasks, small miracles, special people. Who are these special people? They are part of Vista, volunteers in service to America. People like yourself who are spending a year on the front lines of the war on poverty. They are men and women over 18 who are really doing something for their country and their less privileged fellow countrymen. They'll remember this year for the rest of their lives, and no matter what they do later on, whether they become doctors, lawyers, businessmen, or housewives, they'll be better at it because of what they did and what they learned this year. How about you? Perhaps you could be one of these special people. Perhaps you could help to change some lives, offer hope and encouragement to people who really need it. To find out how you can do something important, write Vista, Washington, D.C. V-I-S-T-A, Washington, D.C. Once again, Duke Ellington.
Well, now we find ourselves doing a performance of a number made very popular by the Beatles, and we find it a good piece of material to play with. We had a lot of fun, and here it is, our conception of I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Thank you, Duke Ellington.
Thank you very much, Willis Conover, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the audience of Vista. All the kids in the band want you to know that we do love you madly.
And our thanks to this station and to the American Federation of Musicians for making the program possible. Remember, something important is going on in your time, in your country, and someone like you can play an important part.
Someone who's willing, someone to care, someone who's needed and glad to be there, someone to give of himself for a year, a Vista volunteer.
Voices of Vista is produced by Arch Lustberg and written by Charles Wood for the Office of Economic Opportunity. For Duke Ellington, the John Kakavas Orchestra and Chorus, and Willis Conover. Goodbye.
Someone who's young and someone who's old, hands that are willing